Welcome to the Legends in English. Inspiring stories, simple English. Let's start. Let's learn. Let's grow together. Today we are going to talk about courage. True courage is not about having power or wealth. It is about standing firm even in pain and struggle. It is about choosing respect over comfort and freedom over fear. A brave heart never bends, even when the world stands against it. Such a courage shines forever in history, inspiring generations to rise with strength and dignity. A king who never bowed, Maharana Pratap. Maharana Pratap was not just a king, he was a more than a king. He was a symbol of courage, he was a symbol of freedom, he was the lion of Mewar. In a time when many kings choose comfort, when many kings choose peace with slavery, he chose hardship, he chose honor, he chose freedom. He stood tall against one of the most powerful empires of the world. He stood for his land, he stood for his people, he stood for his pride. His name became a song, a prayer, a battle cry. His name meant strength. His name meant courage. His name meant never giving up. This is the story of a great man. This is the story of a king who never bowed. This is the story that still inspiring millions of hearts today. The early life of a young prince. Maharana Pratap was born on 9th May 1540 inside the great and mighty wall of Kumbhalgarh fort in Rajasthan. His father was Uday Singh, the king of Mewar. His mother was Maharani Jaivantama. From the first day of his life, he belonged to the noble Sisodia clan. The Sisodia were proud, the Sisodia were brave, the Sisodia were lovers of freedom. He learned to run, he learned to fight, he learned to survive. From childhood, Pratap was different. He was not like other princes who played with jewels and lived in comfort. He loved the mountains, he loved the forest, he loved the open field. He rode his horse fast, he used his sword sharp, he threw his spear strong, day after day, year after year, he trained. His arm became strong, his mind became sharper, his spirit became unbreakable. He was strong in body, he was strong in mind, he was strong in spirit. But fighting was not only the nation. His mother taught him drama. The righteous path. She taught him truth. She taught him kindness. She taught him respect all living beings. His lessons were deep. His lessons were forever. He was a warrior. He was also a man of honor. He was a man of principles. His early life was not just a childhood, it was a training. It was a preparation for a great struggle, preparation for a hard life, preparation for sacrifice. He was a prince, but he lived like a soldier. He was born to fight for his people. He was born to suffer for freedom. He was born to never bow. Maharana Pratap was very tall and strong. His height was 7 feet 5 inches. His chest was more than 56 inches wide. He carried heavy weapons with ease. His sword weighed around 50 kg. His spears around 80 kg. His shield around 35 kg. His armor buckler was more than 70 kg. But he wore it like it was nothing. His body was made for war. His spirit was made for courage. Even among warriors, he looked like a giant, a lion ready for the battle. The struggle for the throne, a crown of beauty. In 1572, life changed for Maharana Pratap. His father, King Uday Singh, passed away. The throne of Mewar was empty. A new king had to be chosen, but there was a problem. Before his death, Uday Singh wished that his younger son Jagmal should be king. This was not right. This was not just. Maharana Pratap was the eldest son. He was the rightful heir. He was the true choice. The nobles of Mewar knew this. The people of Mewar knew this. They said, Jagmal cannot protect us. Jagmal cannot save us. We need a leader. We need a warrior. We need Pratap. They went to Pratap. They folded their hands. They begged him. They said again and again, be our king. Be our protector. Be our hope. Pratap was not greedy for the throne. He was not hungry for power. He did not dream of reach. He only dreamed of duty. He only dreamed of serving his land and his people. He accepted the crown, not a crown of gold, not a crown of jewels, but a crown of duty, a crown of sacrifice, a crown of heavy responsibility. It was not easy crown, it was a heavy crown, very heavy. It was the crown of Mewar's freedom, it was the crown of Mewar's honor, it was the crown coming struggle. Maharana Pratap became a king not because he wanted to be king, but because his people wanted him. He became a king not for himself, but for his land. He became a king not for glory, but for duty. That is why he was a true king, people's king, a king of chosen by honor, not by desire. The unbreakable spirit. Mewar versus the Mughal Empire. This was a time when the Mughal Empire was growing very, very strong. The Mughal Empire was Akbar, a great ruler, a powerful ruler, a ruler who wanted to control all of India. One by one, many kings, many rulers, many princes had accepted his power. They had become his friends, they had become his allies, they had given him their lands, they had given him their daughters in marriage, they had chosen peace, comfort, and safety. But Maharana Pratap was a different. Maharana Pratap was strong. Maharana Pratap was proud. He refused to bow down. He refused to surrender. Akbar sent message again and again. Akbar sent messenger again and again. Akbar said, join me, accept my rule, be my friend, be my ally. But Maharana Pratap's answer never changed. His voice was steady, his words were strong, his answer was always the same. Mewar is free. Mewar will never bow. Mewar will never accept the rule of a foreigner. It was not an easy choice. It was a hard choice. It was a dangerous choice. This choice meant war. This choice meant hunger. This choice meant living in the forest, living in the mountains, living without comfort. But Maharana Pratap was not afraid. He was never afraid. His heart was brave. His spirit was strong. He knew this fight was not for himself. It was for his land, for his people, for their honor, for their freedom, for their show. In 1573, before the battle, Akbar sent Raja Man Singh to talk with Maharana Pratap, but Pratap refused to accept Akbar's rule. In 1573 to 1576, Akbar also sent Todarmal, his finance minister, and Bhagwan Das, Rajput ruler of Amer, to convince Maharana Pratap, but still Pratap refused. After 1576, even after the battle of Haldi Ghati, Akbar tried again. He sent Man Singh and Asaf Khan to negotiate peace, but Maharana Pratap always rejected Akbar's offer. Akbar grew angry, very angry. Again and again he tried. He sent generals, he sent soldiers, he sent promises of gold and gifts, but nothing could move Maharana. His heart was like a strong stone, an unbreakable stone. His will was iron. His spirit was a fire. He would never surrender. He would never kneel. He would never accept slavery. He said again and again, better to die free than to live as a slave. Better to die with honor than to live with shame. Better to fight and lose than to surrender and forget who we are. The Battle of Haldigari, a king and his horse. The conflict finally exploded in a great battle. It was the famous Battle of Haldigadi in the year of 1576 on 18th June. It was not just a battle of swords, it was not just a battle of men, it was a battle of courage, it was a battle of honor, it was a battle of freedom. On one side stood the Mughal army, a very large, very powerful army, led by Raja Man Singh of Amen. He was once a Rajput like Pratap, but he had chosen to fight for Akbar. On the other side was Maharana Pratap with a small army, a brave army, a loyal army. The battle was fought in a narrow mountain pass of Haldigadi near Gogunda. In the hot summer morning of 18 June 1576, the dust was thick, very thick. The sun was hot, very hot. The air was full of the sound of sword and flashing, shields breaking, and the men shouting, while elephants roared, cannons fired, spears flashed. It was a terrible battle, very terrible battle. Maharana Pratap was in the front, always in the front, never at the back. He fought with courage, he fought with strength, he fought with the fire in his heart, and with him was his beloved horse Chetak. During the fierce battle, a powerful moment took place. A brave Mughal warrior Bahlol Khan challenged Maharana Pratap. With one strong strike of his sword, Pratap cut Bahlol Khan and his horse into two pieces. This blow shocked the Mughal soldiers and filled them with fear. At the same time, it gave a great courage to the Rajput warriors. The sound of clashing steel spread across the battlefield, and for a moment silence fell as both enemies realized the unmatched strength of Maharana Pratap. The Rajput soldiers shouted with pride, raising their sword high, ready to give their lives for their king, for their motherland. This moment became the turning point of the battle, showing the true spirit of freedom against the powerful Mughal Empire. The Battle of Haldigati was like a storm. Dust filled in the air, so thick that man could not see the sun. The sounds of thousands of horses shook the earth. The clash of steel echoed in the valley. Rajput warriors fought like a lion. Even when surrounded by 10 enemies at once, every soldier fought as if it was his last day, as if he was born only to protect his land. The battlefield became a river of courage, a fire of sacrifice. Chetak was not just a horse, Chetak was his friend. Chetak was his brother, Chetak was his life. Chetak was a sacrifice, Chetak was a love. Together, the king and his horse moved like one. In the middle of the battle, Pratap came face to face with Raja Mansi. He raised his spear and charged. He missed the man but struck the elephant's armor. Chetak leaped forward, bravely. His front leg touched the elephant's head, but the sharp armor cut Chetak's leg. A brave horse was badly hurt, very badly hurt. The battle turned against Pratap's small army. His warriors saw the danger. They begged him to leave. They pushed him to safety. Pratap did not want to go. He wanted to fight. He wanted to die. But his soldiers saved him. They saved their king. Chetak ran. He ran with all his strength. He ran with all his heart. He carried his master up from the battlefield. One leg was wounded, one leg was bleeding. Still he ran. He crossed river. He crossed rock. He crossed death itself. Finally, after crossing a deep river, Chetak fell. He fell in the pain, but not in defeat. He had saved his master. He had done his duty. Maharana Pratap held him, cried for him. He wept for him. The king wept for his horse. The warrior wept for his friend. Chetak died in his arms. A friend, a savior, a hero. It was a moment of pain. It was a moment of loss. but it was also a moment of love, a moment of sacrifice, moment of the history never forget. Maharana Pratap fought for his land, he fought for his honor, he fought for his freedom, and his horse Chetak gave his life for him. Bal Gangadhar Tilak said, the story of Maharana Pratap is the story of fearless resistance, the story of fighting for freedom at any cost. A life in the forest, a king without kingdom. After the battle of Haldigati, Maharana Pratap lost his capital. He lost his palace. He lost most of his kingdom. But he did not lose his courage. He did not lose his spirit. He did not give up. He did not surrender. He went into the forest. He went into the mountains. He lived in the wind. He lived in the open. His life became a very, very hard. There were no bed. There were no palace. There was no comfort. There was no shelter. He lived with his family. He lived with his small army. They had little food. They ate what they could find. They ate bilberries. They ate rotis made of flour. His wife suffered. His children suffered. They all suffered together. In the forest, he was full of suffering. His children cried from hunger. His queen worked like ordinary woman, cooking food on open fire. His soldiers fed every pain of their king. Yet no one left him. No one betrayed him. They stayed because they knew they were not just following the king, they were following the courage itself. This pain made them stronger. This struggle made them unbreakable. One day, his little daughter was very hungry. A roti made of flour fell from her hand. A wild cat took it away. He cried loudly. Maharana Pratap's heart broke. He felt pain. He felt sorrow. He felt sadness. At that moment, his loyal friend Bhamasa came. Bhamasa was a minister. He was rich. He had a lot of money. He gave all his money to Maharana Pratap. He said, use this to fight. Do not give up. Fight for your people. Fight for your land. Fight for your freedom. Maharana Pratap, he could have surrendered. He could have lived in comfort. He could have lived in wealth. But he chose to stay free. He chose honor over comfort. He chose struggle over surrender. He chose a hardship over luxury. He chose a freedom. He chose to fight. Even in the forest, even in hardship, he never lost hope. He never lost courage. He never stopped planning. He never stopped dreaming. He knew that one day he would reclaim his kingdom. He knew that one day freedom would return. He lived for honor. He lived for duty. He lived for his people. He lived for Mewar. He was a brave in body. He was a brave in mind. He was a brave in spirit. Maharana Pratap's life in the forest was hard, but his heart was strong. His heart was free. His heart was unbroken. The comeback. The lion rises again. Living in the forest was not a time of weakness for Maharana Pratap. It was a time of learning. It was a time of planning. It was a time of strength. He used the forest as his shield. He used the mountains as his fortress. The Mughal army could not find him. The Mughal army could not defeat him. They searched, they chased, they tried, but they could not catch him. He was a master of guerrilla warfare. He knew the land like his own land. He used surprise. He used attack at night. He attacked in the mountains. He attacked when the enemy was not ready. Slowly, he began to win back his land. Slowly, he became stronger. He won back fort. He won back villages. He won back the hearts of his people. The Mughal army could never defeat him. The Mughal army could never break his spirit. He rebuilt his kingdom. He stored hope. He built a new capital of Chavan. He became a living legend, a legend of courage, a legend of determination, a legend of honor. He showed the world that true king is not only who rules over land, but one who rules with a big heart, one who rules with courage, one who rules with respect for his people. His personal life, a man of the people. Maharana Pratap was not only a great warrior, he was a kind man. He wasn't just a man. He loved his people. He cared for his people. He protected them. He treated them like a family. There is a famous story that showed his greatness. Once the Mughal general Abdul Rahim Khan's family was captured by his son. His wife and children were brought before Maharana Pratap. His soldiers wanted to take him as a prisoner, but Maharana Pratap stopped him. He said, treat them with respect, do not harm them. His soldiers obeyed. The Mughal general heard of this. He was moved. He was full of respect and said, this act showed that Pratap's war was not a war of hate. It was a war of honor. It was a war for freedom. He respected bravery. He respected loyalty. He respected every human being, even his enemies. He was a fierce warrior. He was a peaceful man. He was a king. He was a friend of his people. He was a hero of all. The final war, a hero's death. After a long and difficult life, Maharana Pratap's time came to an end. He was in his new capital, Chavan. His body was tired, his body was old. He was just a 56-year-old, but his spirit was still young. His spirit was still full of fire. His mind was still sharp. His heart was still strong. He died on 19 January 1597. Even on his deathbed, he was thinking of his motherland. He called his son Amar Singh to his side. He asked Amar Singh to promise him something. He told his son, never surrender to the enemy. Keep Mewar free. Do not allow these mountains to be ruled by others. His last words were about freedom. His last words were about honor. His last words were about duty. He died knowing he had never bowed. He had never surrendered. He had kept his promise to his people. He died a warrior. He died a king. He died a hero. The legacy, a light that will never fade. Maharana Pratap is remembered as one of the India's greatest warriors. He was not just a king who fought battles. He was a king who fought for an idea. He was a king who fought for an ideal. He was a king who chose honor over comfort. He was a king who chose hardship over slavery. He was a king who chose truth over fear. He was a symbol of courage. He was a symbol of honor. He was a symbol of freedom. His life is a lesson for all of us. It teaches us to be brave when we face great challenges. It teaches us to be stand for what is right, even when it is hard. It teaches us to never give up on our dreams, no matter how long or difficult the path is. His name is a powerful word, a word that reminds us to stand, a word that reminds us of courage, a word that reminds us of honor. In many places, the statue of Maharana Pratap rises high, touching the sky. These are not just a statue of stone and metal. They are living symbol of courage, honor, and freedom. When we stand before Him, we feel His spirit, His fire, His unbreakable will. They remind us that one man with truth in his heart and strength in his soul can stand against the mightiest empire. This statue inspires us to be fearless, to be protect our values, and to never bow down, just like Maharana, the warrior who lived for his motherland. Today, the name of Maharana Pratap is not just in a book. His statue rises high in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Delhi, and many parts of India. His story is told in schools, His courage is remembered in the Indian Army, and his ideals inspire leaders and soldiers. Every year, his birth anniversary is celebrated with pride. He is not just a memory of the past, he is a guide for the future. His life teaches us that freedom is a priceless, that dignity is a higher than comfort, and that courage never dies. He lived for freedom, he fought for freedom, he suffered for freedom, he died for freedom, and his name still lives in hearts of millions. His story is not just a story, the story is not just a tale, the story is a guide, his story is inspiration. The story is a light that will never ever fade. It is a light that will shine forever, a light that will guide every generation. James Todd, British historian, said about Maharana Pratap. Maharana Pratap is the very embodiment of a Rajput valor, the greatest warrior of his age, who never bowed to the might of the Mughal Empire. Harsi Mazumdar, Indian historian, said, Pratap's unbroken courage and his refusal to submit to Akbar made him immortal in Indian history. Mahatma Gandhi, the father of nations, said, Maharana Pratap has been a symbol of courage and patriotism. His loyalty to his people and refusal to bow down is a lesson to all generations. This was the life story of Maharana Pratap, a legend who inspires us to live with courage and hope. Let us take the lesson into our own life. This is our journey, learning, growing, and improving together.